So my stress level is going up about as fast as the number of projects that are showing up around here. I don't know when I'm supposed to get all this done. It's another car to work on, but I don't think there's necessarily a timeline on that. Belongs to my brother-in-law. His other car's over there. So we're gonna try to make 1 out of 2. So that'll be fun. And of course, it's parked right in the way and the battery's dead. So that's handy. Then, yesterday, that showed up again. More to do on it. It's starting to act up again. He used it and loaded like 7 semi-loads of corn with it and different things, and everything was fine. And then it started to not play nice again. So after much trying to fix it over the phone, I said, just bring it here again. So it's here. So I need to get that done. I need to do some farming if it would quit raining. Yeah, it's just, everything's going great. So should have probably planted at the beginning of April like everybody else, but I didn't do it. Oh well, wrong again. The story of my life. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. My original plan was work on my disc, get it ready to go. But this is sitting here now, so I feel that probably need to figure out why it won't play nice. And I guess I'm gonna have to just fire it up. What do we got going on here? Monitor, I suppose. We're gonna delete on that, because I don't want to have any issues there. Looks like the gas is on. Looks like it's fairly clear. We never had the carburetor apart last time, and I suspect that that is probably the source of his trouble. Dare I see, last time I touched it and it was healed, and I don't want to do that again. So we're gonna do the right thing and knock it out of gear on an incline. See if it runs. I don't know. How can it be that when it comes here it runs perfect, and when it leaves it doesn't? Once again, all I did was touch it, and it's healed. Now we're gonna have to drive it around and see what makes it go bad. gas is in it or what. Let's just go. Excellent, and I didn't do anything. I do, however, have some suspects. Well, for one, it blew this fuse, I'm pretty sure, that I put in last time to make the gauges work. So we're gonna find one and see what our temperature is, actually. Suspect number 2 is, it does not appear to be charging. And I'm wondering if when he had this hooked up, which is the first thing I did, I touched something again right away instead of just going with it. But it looks like it's come unhooked anyway, right? Wouldn't you guess that this pulled out of that? I'm wondering if that turned the screws in on it and it wasn't getting enough juice, and it was making that electronic ignition cut out. I'm gonna hook this back up. See if that, it didn't really affect anything. Of course, nothing's on. Yeah, see all that gadgetry? That might have had something to do with it. I don't think that would be like this. I don't think it's going to be enough of a draw. Suspect number 3 of what I think it possibly could be causing trouble. I need to get a flashlight and maybe a magnet, or maybe not a magnet because it may not be magnetic. But I'm wondering if there's something floating around in that tank and every so often it plugs off the hole and no gas. So, and then when he brings it over here on the trailer, it shakes it out and it runs perfect. So that's my next vision, because this thing runs beautiful. I don't know what, it hasn't done what he said it was doing. So until it does that, I really don't know what I can do for it. Oh, I got so much stuff to do today. This was a very small one, like a, well, I don't think that this is the right fuse, and I don't remember putting that in there. Okay. Well, let's go with this. See what happens. I'm very frustrated. I don't like stuff that I worked on to not work for somebody. And I know he's probably frustrated. But I'm really frustrated because I find nothing wrong with it. So, whoops. I just don't get it. I don't understand how me just touching it makes it well. Yep, there we go. Normal. Still no charging. Oh, obviously, we're not using that. That's our signal wire. Right? I guess I'll get a jumper and see if I can make it charge. And if I can't, then we're gonna have to do something to his charging system. All right. Now this may not work either, because I've had bad luck with these Hobo Freight jumper wires not working. So we're gonna try it first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll have to find something else and just make one. Should have got a test light too and see if that's actually it's been running for like 45 minutes and never missed a lick. Yeah, that's handy. So I need to put you down somehow, but this is going to make a lot of noise when I do this. gauge isn't hooked up. Right? Because if it's hooked that way, it will never ever go through the gauge. Wonder why we did it that way. Jeez. Think straight. I'm not. I gotta stop and think about this a minute. The trouble is why it doesn't work with the gauge is because he switched it from the old style to the new style internally regulated alternator, and he doesn't have the wiring right. But where does that red wire go? The green one comes from the alternator and goes back up there. So the red one should have went to the battery. So it should come out on the other side. And we don't have that happening. Okay. This is what I'm wondering. Which that really wouldn't matter then. It would be going through. No, it would matter because it's not going through the battery at that point. So if I unhook this wire, maybe it will start working because there may not be anything wrong with the way that it is. But then where is all our instrumentation going to get its power from? Because that should have been getting its power from, okay, it's got a jumper up to the key switch. I'm going to take off that wire and see if the gauge will register that it's charging, because I feel like what's happening now is it's just coming from the alternator straight over here and it's bypassing the whole gauge loop. I think that this will work. I think. But I'm an idiot, so what do I know? If I can't make it worse, how will I know if I made it better, you know? I'm thinking, see, he's got it wired up like you would wire it for a one-wire alternator. And that's not what we want in this case. But I might be wrong, and you may never see this footage because I may cut it out because it might make me look stupid when I have time to think about it after a while. Sometimes, I don't know if other people have this problem, but I get to where my brain feels full and I cannot think or do anything. I just can't wrap my mind around it, even though I've done it 100 times. So this is one of those times where I'm not sure. Yep, that's what I wanted. See that? Taking that wire off made the gauge jump right up. One too many wires. Let's start it again. Let's see. That didn't screw it up, so let's do some more stuff and screw it up worse. But why that works is electricity is kind of like plumbing, if you want to think of it that way, where it's going to take the path of least resistance. So if you want your gauge to work, it's got to go all the way up through the gauge and come back to the battery. And in this case, he bypassed all that with this extra wire, and it was just going straight to the battery and no dice. You didn't have any action on your gauge because it didn't need to. It didn't ever need to move. Now we're gonna make this more better, and we're gonna throw sparks while we do it, probably, because I don't think I can do it without doing that. Should probably disconnect the battery or get the right size wrench, see. But I don't like his wiring setup here when I have the correct plugs on hand. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to take out that extra wire that we don't need. I don't know that that extra wire has anything to do with anything. I don't think that ever affected him in any way with the problem that he says he's having. I just don't think... No, it shouldn't. There's no possible way. So this goes bye-bye. This goes temporarily bye-bye. This goes in. Phone is already starting. I've already had like 14 calls today, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I don't get it. You know, people, I don't have free time to play on the phone. I have to work. Okay, why aren't we plugging? What is going on here? Maybe we won't make it better. Maybe we won't. There. That's more better, in theory. Now, this one's going here, this one's going here, and then that cuts down on all that extra jazz, you know? Plus it looks snazzy. There. Okay, now, trigger. We need to make these two become one. So I'll get a butt connector and make that happen. Then it should be back just like it was, but more better. That's less likelihood that something will pop out and then short out on you. Plus we also got rid of this extra wire we didn't need. And I'm a fan of getting rid of stuff we don't need. I mean, why? Why have all that extra jazz? So, yeah, I'll get the stuff. Just a minute. Okay, let's make things happen. Why should we reinvent the wheel when the wheel is already here? All right. I'm running very thin on electrical tape, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Like right there, that was the last blip, it sounds like. I probably have more if I look. All right, now we're at the time of day where the temperature has changed just enough that I really can't stand wearing a coat, but it's not pleasant without it. So can we just hack away at this? Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there, I said. There. More deletion. Now, so will this little guy go up there like used to? Not really with that extra wire, but would have if I would have been thinking and tucked it through the whatchamacallit, but I didn't do that. Okay, this needs to go away. We don't need it anymore. We're not even using that setup. All right. Now, test run number 2. Does it still charge? It should. Yep. Good deal. Now we still haven't figured out our problem why it doesn't run. Because it runs. Well, I'm happy. Oh, what do I do, folks? It runs great. And that's not why it was brought here. It was brought here because it doesn't run great. I fixed some little stuff along the way, but I didn't fix the problem because I can't find the problem. I think I'm gonna have to look in the tank because that is the only thing I can remotely figure could possibly happen of why I can get it to run here and he can't get it to run there is because, and of course it's full, that's about right, that maybe there's something in there and it bounces over the tank hole down in there, over where the sediment bowl is. Because otherwise, why would it do that? Why would it run flawlessly for me and all I do is touch it? And for them, it doesn't run, but sometimes. I mean, figure this out, people. This is so aggravating. Like, why would it do this to me? There's nothing wrong with it. I broke my magnet on that one of mine when I was doing that. So either I need to go to town and get a new magnet, or I need to, I had another magnet, but it's got like a lot of plasticky stuff on it, and I don't really know that I want that. But if the object isn't magnetic, what good is it gonna do? I mean, figure this out, man. I'm scratching my head because as soon as I send it back to him, it's not going to work again. And there's nothing wrong with it now. I don't want you to misunderstand now, especially if the person that owns this is watching. I'm not at all aggravated at at the guy. I understand it's a machine, and I'm aggravated at this tractor. I mean, that it's doing this to me. Like when it left here last time, it ran flawlessly, and now it's back here and it's running flawlessly, but when it goes home, it doesn't want to act right. And I don't understand why the tractor is trying to, you know, make me look like a moron. I don't need help in that department, tractor. I can do that on my own. So yeah, I'm at a loss here. It's getting kind of like lunchtimey, so maybe perhaps I will go to town and acquire a new magnet and just give her a sweep in there and see if there's something that I can pick up in there. But I don't bet there probably won't be. I mean, and I've just run it enough now that I feel like if it was going to act up, it would act up. I mean, geez, it's very frustrating because I want to do a good job for somebody, but I don't know if I can't get it to do what the problem is. How am I supposed to fix the problem? And this happens all the time when people work on stuff. So, you know, like when you take your car and you're aggravated they don't fix it the first time, well, it's this kind of thing. Like, if it doesn't do it for me, I don't know what more I can do. Okay, you beast. We've got a brand new magnet on a stick. We're gonna see if there's something hiding in here, because I'm out of choices here. I don't know. The great thing now is going to be losing our magnet in there, probably. Nothing. It don't look good, folks. There ain't nothing in there. A tiny little crud. And that was it. Jeez. Well, what to do? You know? What to do? Keep it around here a few days and drive it around, mess with it, see if we can get something to happen, because I'm out of ideas. I cannot figure out why it runs here but it won't run at his house. Man, I don't know. Sounds healthy. Figure out why it's blowing the temperature gauge fuse, because that shouldn't be. Okay, while I was driving it down the road before it messed up, I had another thought. I know, because my head started to hurt. And that thought is, since I've never taken the carburetor off, I'm wondering if the pin that holds the float, or maybe the float itself, ooh, well there I see some trouble. There's trash in there, in the thing. I can see that. So we'll pull this out and double check that. That could definitely be his issue. But I also think I want to take the carburetor apart and see. What I was getting at is, if that pin would have vibrated one way or the other, whatever, maybe the float is binding sometimes. And whenever he loads it on the trailer and it bounces on the trailer, it's getting the float unstuck, and then it works fine for me. But then after a while using it, the float hangs up and it's holding it open or closed and not letting it happen. However, I do see trash here now, so that is a good sign, because perhaps our issue is in here as well. Well, I can't do it and hold you. And our magnet mount is still broken from our falling off the barn escapade. Let's see how the flow is without me doing anything to it. Or let's just make a huge mess and sure. Get out of there, Bale. Okay. Yeah, see, there we go. There's our problem right there. Fuel won't keep up. It's kind of good, but I think when you get it to where it's totally under a load, look at that. That's like a piece of plastic. Like a little, what that looks like is like it's a shred of the plastic off of a gas can. So, so that could be partial of our problem. Can I get to where you can see? See, we're barely getting anything, and that should stream out of there. So we'll pull this off and make sure that that is open. And then we will also, I think, take the carburetor loose and apart this time, just to say that I looked in it. Because last time I didn't, and I kind of regretted that the whole time, because then when he said it was acting up, I've never been inside there and I don't know. Maybe there's something very obvious. But I do want to look at it and see if there's some type of float issue. I can't remember. Did I have this off last time? I'll have to go back and look at the videos. I think I did. I think I put this in because I put on this fuel line. And so I'm wondering if there is indeed trash floating around there. It's non-magnetic trash and it's just plugged her up again. Well, that's what we're gonna do though. I'm not gonna send it back until I've done those two things. I'm taking this out and getting this to flow right again, and I'm taking that carburetor apart just to see what it looks like inside, because I can't in good conscience say there's no issue until I've done both of those. So at least I did get it to mess up a little bit, but boy does it take a long time. I mean, that was over an hour's worth of drive time between the first time and that, you know, with a break where I went to town. But yeah, and then we got the other issue of temperature gauge blowing the fuse, and I don't like that. So we're gonna have to figure out why is that. Yeah, so I guess this is probably gonna end up being another two-part video, because this is pretty long. I think I have like over an hour and a half worth of footage on just messing with this today. So at least now I have some vision of where I want to go, because there for a while I was starting to think like, there's no issue here. So I got it to act up though, so that's a good thing. So we will do those things in the next video. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.